another misconception of love I want to put down here before we go.
Go ahead.
Pretty much, women have gathered together and they have made a good job of understanding men who fall short of certain things because they don't want to get hurt. So it's, you know what I'm saying. But I think this is one that women should know themselves, that it's a victim of Western society. Young women, and I'm not making this assessment based on from a male's point of view. I'm making this assessment from a female's point of view by noticing something about young women, keeping it to myself, and then later on hearing it from older women. But I first was made privy to it by my mother. But I'm glad that I sat back to find out for my own self on the different age groups and find out with a lot of sisters that's in the Jubilee period, which is the 50-year-olds, and some that's in their mid-40s that can understand this because they're looking in retrospect. And that is based on what a lot of women say, is that when they are young, they do not like nice men. They don't like nice guys. You see, maybe it has something to do with the society of nice guys finish last. That it could be a Western thing. And I'm quite sure it is, because I mean it is kind of really messed up for you to like a person that don't like you. But I do know this for a fact. I first was made privy to this with my mother. She said, man, you in college. She said, now don't be fucking around going up there and being nice, because a nice motherfucker better get the fuck out of my face. This is my mama, a school teacher. And she's saying how she knows what was going on when she was young. You understand what I'm saying? What was going, and I think it's even worse now with the roughneck and the shit that has been produced with the hip hop world. It's probably even worse with girls and the whole gangster shit. But this thing is prevalent enough, even in my mother's age, you see what I'm saying, of being a teenager in their fucking 50s. You see what I'm saying? Early 50s or whatever. The point I'm trying to make here is, that's one of the misconceptions. Now, the sisters that now in their 50s are telling me, when I was younger, I didn't like nice guys. But too often, when they figured it out, sometimes it's too late for sisters, because we got such a disproportion of men in this society. The ones that's in jail, you see what I'm saying? The ones that's already married, the ones that's gay, and then the ones that's dysfunctional, sexually, and some just bums or some type of thing that you can't even deal nothing with. So the point I'm trying to make here is, a lot of times when they figure it out, it's too late for a lot of sisters. You see what I'm saying? It's too late for a lot of sisters. So that's a bad misconception, and I'm glad I went back to that question, because that is major. You understand what I'm saying? And they must challenge this idea, or they must challenge this, because the simple fact here is, some of these girls are not, all men are dogs. No, some of these girls, they draw to them these types of things based on what they like. They say think, and it is. Well, they have a certain concept of what they like, and they draw this to them. And a lot of times, it is dog men. There was a guy from your neck of the woods, New York, down in college with me. This brother was a straight-up psychopath. He would go to jail every semester for fighting and all this, and it didn't get, okay, when he was a freshman, that's all right. He just coming out of high school. But it didn't get no better each year until they finally threw this nigga out of school and stuff for just raising too much hell. They waited till his senior year and they got his ass and threw him out of school. And I remember the day his father was coming to pick him up, they literally had to pry this girl from his neck. He is one of the biggest psychopaths on the campus of thousands. He was the worst. And I noticed he didn't have no trouble with women. You see what I'm saying? None with women. Then when a woman try to sometimes say, I'm severely damaged, you see what I'm saying? Now on the other hand, she has to look at this psychopath that she has conjured up. Now on the other hand, I have known guys with 4.0s. These motherfuckers could build radios out of this damn table. Build a damn race car out of some fucking fabric. These niggas are now CEOs of corporations now, and the same women are going, huh? Why can't I meet a man like that? And they didn't even consider them. You see what I'm saying? When they were young. So this is one that's a vicious cycle. You know, yeah.
All right. Want another one?
Yeah, how many more you got?
A couple more.
Well, just might as well finish them off.
Yeah, we're going to knock them out. All right. Damn, you just did this one. But it leads into something deeper. How are people able to get with the wrong person?
Right.
And what makes love so powerful that people can be blinded by love?
Okay. Well, on one aspect, I can add a little light to say that they say that love is because they say that love is a opposite of unions. A union of opposites. So by love being a union of opposites, I can see how it can be very powerful when you like a person who's not like you, which makes a lot of sense. And I think too often that's what happens when they can get with the wrong person also. And be very attracted to them. So there's a metaphysical aspect of the woman being attracted to somebody, you see what I'm saying, that's not like her and stuff. But it's a thin line, you see, with abuse. But it goes back to the same thing. The wrong person could very well be an entrapment of something you think you want. And it's always based on a survey of what you should have. You see what I'm saying? A survey of what you should have. And understanding this type of stuff. So yeah. Ejaculating, and you taking her essence, and she's giving her essence because she's the source and the fountain of youth, and the pool is built up. She is the source of all this, so you can't deplete her. And you start to take her essence, and what happens here is this: you will not be able to keep your hands off each other. Because the only reason why you know how you get mad at her after you bust your nut, you be like, you don't want to touch her. Right? That's because she got your shit. You see. So this is another part of the melanin. You see. So these collars. Now the thing about it here is that not even just the oral sex, just being with a woman sexually. Even with your dipstick, that's been with a lot of women, not with a lot of men, been with a lot of men, that's one of them Freudian things. That women shit got in there first. That might be another lecture in another time. Because us porno people, that shit in the home. You go right ahead, baby. Shoot. How you think a lot of black men get turned out? She come over, white girl, she come over with her girlfriend. 2 for 1, next thing this nigga gone. I'm serious. How you think I'm telling you some mysteries. How they get, you say, what is the secret, this white girl? The white girl bring her girlfriend over too. And the girlfriend look better than her. It's on. I'm just telling you how niggas get turned out. You see. You see, so just give me one of them secrets. This is one of the brothers from Detroit told me how, you know, how they do it. And he said she probably brought her girlfriend over. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to get into that stuff like that. All this stuff here is science if you don't look at this shit as moral. I'm going to be honest, being moral ain't never got you shit. Your children locked up by the millions. And you've been worshiping Jesus. You see what I'm saying? But this is the key. But this is the key. When it comes to this particular energy, the more men she's been with. That's what I'm trying to say. Because, you know, I know a lot of guys, you know, they would never admit it. But you know what I'm saying? They like a good hoe. They've been trained to go out, you know. You see. Me, you know, and so, okay, now I'm going to tell you a little secret. I had Ginger. Now, Ginger was Ginger. When I first started lecturing, I started lecturing at age 30. The Spirit said, look, you're getting ready to get caught up because the women are going to come after you like crazy. Sure enough, the third lecture, two sisters came up and they said, we're ready to follow you to the Star Sirius. So what happened was, you see, I'm telling that Martin Luther King thing and all that stuff about that. Something about a man speaking. So what happened was, I was with Ginger for about 7 years because they sent her to Block. She was 11 years younger than me. She didn't want no children. She was still in school. You see what I'm saying? So she was too young for what she was trying to do, and they sent her to Block, and she was with me for 7 years. When she left, all the babes that it was in my line of sight was in their 40s. They had already had the children. You see what I'm saying? They had already had the children and stuff. So it shifted. You know, when I was in my early 30s, all of them was coming childbearing realm. I couldn't have no children. Hell, I lectured for fucking 9 years on damn $300 a lecture. You see what I'm saying? I was literally a pauper. But I had to get this, and I knew that if I had them children, that shit would be over. A little bit of child support, it was over. But I knew at 30, I wasn't supposed to have children. So they sent her as a young girl to Block. So when and one day we just woke up, and I said, you ready to go? She said, like, yeah. I said, it's all good. And we sitting in the house laughing, and people all down the East Coast, oh, this is so bad, y'all breaking up. We laughing and shit. I said, my mama told me when I first took, she said, that goddamn young ass girl gonna leave you, nigga. The year after we hooked up, a psychic said, y'all just gonna be together for, so we already knew it. So the day she said, the day she said, and what happened was, I was vegetarian for like 4 years. Then we got back on the meat. Oh, it was pleasure. Then she went back to vegetarianism, and my boy came down from South Carolina. He said, y'all ain't gonna be together long. He said, cause soon as that eating shit break up, that's a social thing. He said, y'all ain't gonna be together long. And a week later, we knew that it was over. So, I was in that realm of the 40 plus. I was 38. Going 40, I turned 40, so all of them was 40 and 50. Now, they was out of the childbearing thing. They was out of the childbearing thing, you see what I'm saying? So, we used to get together, and this is when I knew something. We'd be in bed, and the question was, because see, most men don't want to hear this. Like Chris Rock said, how many men you been with? She said, well, two? I guess that's how you raised. They don't want to hear that. My desire was, well, how many men you was with? And the higher the count, I was most fascinated. Then I met up with one that been with over 50. I had met with one that been with over 50. And she gained the most power. Let me tell you how powerful she is. She got access to the heaven realm. And so gods like Legbar, Baron Samdi, they come and screw her on a regular basis. She don't, you know what I'm saying?
on a regular basis and stuff like that. Why? Because she had raised herself. See, here it is that the Spirit telling you to be promiscuous, to be shut down, chastity. But yet the ones that has gone to that particular level of promiscuous is up there with the God screwing. You see what I'm saying? So all she had to do was get on some lingerie and lay on the bed, and here they come. All the gang. All the ones that tell you not to have the sex. They partying down. You see? So I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to give you some concept on these things. If you look at these things as energies and not moralism. You see what I'm saying? And not moralism. You see? Real powerful information. If you look at it that particular way. But that's one of the ways to do this type of thing. But another, so for the man also to be beneficial to the woman, if he don't ejaculate, then she gets the benefit. Let me tell you why. Once you enter into that and you become that vampire, like Dracula, and you suck in them energies, the love, every last one of them you be with will be in love with you for the rest of their life. Because you have sucked in a part of them, you see what I'm saying, and you didn't let it go. Because what happened is so many ejaculate, you start hating the person. But that stuff that you suck in, those energies, they're in you for life. So they're in you for life. So these people be in love with you for life.
But on one aspect also too, we have a massive epidemic of brothers going with the white women. Epidemic across the country. One of the keys is what you're not understanding based on psychological conditioning is this. Let's say 85% of our hair that comes out of the scalp has some type of natural pattern to it. You see what I'm saying? We only got like maybe 2% of the sisters that will have literally straight hair that comes out of the scalp. Now, if your hair just so happened to come out of the scalp that way, then you can't do nothing about that. And that's the natural way your hair is supposed to be. But if your hair does not come out the scalp that way and you're permanent, there's another psychological aspect that's actually going on. And that is this. Just like you see a white boy walking around with dreads, he just don't look right. Just like you see white people trying to act black. They just don't look right. A white person can put on some mud cloth and they just don't look right. Because that is you. You are the master of that. And nobody can compete against you because that's uniquely you. Because that is the white woman's hair. I don't give a damn how much you put a perm in your hair. It's not going to look as good as hers because she's wearing her own natural hair. Now, yes, you can go get them real expensive perms. And for the first couple of days, them shits look just like that. But it's only relegated to people who got a whole lot of money now because those things, you can't do that shit every damn week. And then that's questionable if you can because you fuck around and be bald head. But the point I'm trying to make here is your black skin and your nappy hair is uniquely you. Only one on the planet. So that also means that you are not even you cannot even compete with the white girl. Not saying that the white girl's hair is better than yours because it ain't nothing but fur. You have hair, they have fur. The same if you go and get the doggone any animal. You see that's fur. So yours is superior for the simple fact you're the only people that's got it. So we're not talking about a form of superiority. What is superior is what's dominant. And since this is the original shit, we can say that this is superior. But that's fur. That's why that same fur emits a oil, just like the animal coat. You see what I'm saying? Every day. You see what I'm saying? But the key, what we're talking about here is this. You can't compete with her because that is her own hairstyle. It might be the animal hairstyle, but it's still uniquely hers. So subconsciously, now here's the black woman, 98% permed up. And here's her in competition because she's now taking herself to the Euros realm or the white realm, and she's in direct competition with the white woman, and she's going to lose that competition because that is the white woman's unique hair, and this is not yours. And that's why your shit's starting to look nasty looking. And then you start saying, you say, man, something about her stink. No, it's because her crown is fucked up. And so the brother subconsciously is now seeing the white woman as a standard of beauty because you're in competition and you getting your ass whipped because that's not your hair. And your shit don't look as good as hers on her animal realm. You see what's going on here? So subconsciously, the brother is desiring that. Number one, now let's get this shit straight. It is the reason why you got the perm in your head in the first goddamn place, because the brother made it clear that he liked the white woman's hair. Now let's get this shit straight. You can monitor the level of a person's race based on the way the woman's head looks. Whether the motherfucker in a veil or whether it's in a goddamn fur veil. Take your goddamn pick. You see? But the key here is you cannot compete with that. So subconsciously, the white woman does look better than the black woman. If you in the animal realm and trying to goddamn go up in the competition with fur that you don't have. You just got to get in your realm. It's just like they said, we never knew how beautiful Nina Simone was until she took the perm out of her head and get the afro in the 70s. And the reason why you was with your woman in mass in the 70s is because you was natural and you was unique. So you was out of the competition of the damn white woman. You see what I'm saying? And so not only that, it went uniquely with your West African features. Or your East African features. Or you don't give a damn where you from, whatever you was wearing natural was your hair. You see what I'm saying? So the concept here is that they destroyed that aspect of you and subconsciously, because you're in competition. You see what I'm saying? So what you do is you get yourself out of the total competition. You see what I'm saying? And also we know that there's not going to be no black hair drive to get black people to get their hair back. That's idiotic. Because the whole concept is not to go to the masses. We're just saying it's a black hair drive to get the ones that's conscious. You see what I'm saying? Those who do know. You see what I'm saying? Those who do know. And so also this is a psychological condition because we also know that you think that you won't be the standard of beauty not unless you bouncing and behaving. You see what I'm saying? But this is a form of the same damn journey. Because we're talking about the same psychological journey, but if we're talking about a psychological journey, and we're talking about the archetypes of the collective unconsciousness, and they tell you you must face your demons, this is a demon that was been put on us. You understand what I'm saying? Since they let you out of slavery. And Madam C.J. Walker and that whole 9 yards. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, and you know it's some psychological shit too. Now here it is, black women, news anchors, wouldn't dare go on the air with their hair cropped and in its natural pattern. But they can throw some blonde coloring up in that bitch and wear it nappy as a motherfucker. Ain't that some shit? You won't be caught dead with your shit nappy and natural pattern. But you can throw some blonde shit up in there and you'll be there all day long. Now, Monica Kaufman, old ass bitch. And when I'm saying old, she too old for that bullshit. She going near 50. I'm not talking about old in the concept, because 50 is basically, 40s and all that is not necessarily old. But that shit is goddamn, you too old to be acting like a damn fool. So, here it is. Monica Kaufman used to change her hairstyle every other week. As a matter of fact, the people down here, that was the talk of the town. What new hairstyle? What new hairstyle that fool got on today? She done been from the Patti LaBelle shit to the Tina Turner. Every other week. But soon as she went blonde, that shit been in there a year and she ain't touched it. You see what I'm saying? This is psychological warfare. You see, keeping people in slavery based on psychological. There's an old trick when they have dog fights, pit bull fights. Every now and then they have the pit bull fights and they fight to the death. Every now and then one person will come and will throw a pit bull throw a pit bull in the pen and this pit bull beats this other pit bull to death, and the other pit bull would not even put up a fight. It would not fight that the other pit bull at all. That is the old trick, because what had happened is the person had gone in and thrown a female pit bull into the ring. And although the female pit bull will maul that male to death, maybe because it's based on she's trying to survive, that other male has enough sense to know that you just do not fight your female species.
Right, right.
And it will not fight it to the point that it will even die first before it fights. Now, they got better sense than fucking humans.
That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Because the male will not go against nature.
That's
and
right.
what we have actually gone against our own natural makeup.
Right.
Just like you talk to sisters, man, who get abused by men. Now you ask yourself about it, and you're a man and I'm a man. How can a man just beat on a damn woman and still feel like a fucking man after he does it? Because 9 out of 10, most women are defenseless. Now don't give me that, because there's women out here that beat your ass. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, since they got some out here that they kick your ass.
Right.
Badly.
I have met
Fuck you up.
I have met up with him in elementary school.
Yeah. I got my ass whooped when I was in the 6th grade.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Major ass whipping.
Yeah. But I did go back and get a little piece afterward though. It was cool. But the bottom line was,
I was never fortunate.
yeah, I was fortunate to go back. I took that ass from him, but I made up for it. I mean, you know, I proved my manhood in another kind of way. But my point is this.
Oh.
My point is this, man. You're right. We have gone totally against the nature. For instance, dookie love. Now, animals don't even do shit like that. Animals do. Now, dogs will sniff a dog's ass.
But they're only sniffing it to find out whether it's male or female.
But they sniff it to find out what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
But they won't go around it.
It's even worse than that. To go even back to a primordial aspect. You talking about beating a woman's behind, to show you that it's not about our nature. I have gotten in fight with men and won and felt bad for getting in a fight with your brother.
Right. Yeah.
You ever did that before?
Yeah.
You beat a nigga ass and then
you feel sorry for him.
You feel sorry for him.
Right.
Now, that means that we are people that wasn't a part of our nature to even get in those fights in the first place. We know that because John Henry Clark took a group of children to Africa. And they stayed over there 3 months. And he asked them, what was it different than you did when you played with these African children compared to playing with the American children? And they came up with all these things, and he was like, no, that ain't it. And they couldn't understand what it was. And he said, you've been over here 3 months and you didn't have one fight. Now that is almost inconceivable in Western culture. Mm-hmm. To have children to play together 3 months and not have a fight. So it is possible, as it used to be a reality in our civilizations thousands of years past, where you can grow up in a society where fighting another male is taboo.
That's right.
So if we know that, what do you think about a person who has no feeling when they fight a female? If I can feel guilty based on something in my soul,
right,
beating a nigga ass, and I used to fight like a motherfucker until I fought up until high school, and then the niggas start getting 6'4", 6'5", and I just got smart. Mm-hmm. But I used to feel bad about whipping this guy's ass. I have to feel sorry for him. And yet, how can you have another male to go and beat up on a female?
Man, I can't. And
don't even feel sorry. It's no one is because the simple fact is in this society, we have more training on hating females than we do our own boys. Mm-hmm. That's some admiration for some people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's a whole other thing. Like I'm saying now, it's also now at a particular point that it is prevalent now, and it's common knowledge that 80% now of the whole rap industry is bisexual.
Yeah.
But we talking about a group of guys where you don't even see the archetype of the female singer, and the one that's the top one is a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if you have an imbalance of female and male and you don't have the female presence there, then that means you will have young guys' minds that the people that they have admiration for and their heroes always being males, and you have heroes and no heroines,
Mm-hmm.
then what will happen here is sooner or later that becomes more than just a deep admiration. It also becomes sexual. And so as a result, in the course of 10 years now, the homosexual, the rap industry is a homosexual phenomenon.
Oh yeah, Jay-Z, LL Cool J. I mean,
All the niggas, and it's interesting because our paradigm of what our original motif of music, you always had strong sisters.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That also dominated the landscape.
Right.
In our music. And this is the first time ever, and especially the last 10 years, where you had straightly a male-dominated medium. And as a result, now you got young boys and stuff. It's a whole new world of homosexuality that was also designed by the Jews and the powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
To effeminize the men.
That's
which
right.
is part of the destruction.
That's right. And I see it going on now. I see whole groups of guys, young people, especially in the college down there, the black colleges in Atlanta, it's a microcosm of the rest of the country. You will have whole groups of guys that will hang out with males on one side of the street, and the females be on the other side of the street, and they won't even have nothing to do with them.
If you ever noticed, man, I've always been different, but I ain't never been one of them kind of guys that always want to hang out with the fucking guys all the time.
Well, see, me, I grew up in a thing whereas, okay, you had your boys, but your boys, your hanging consisted of getting up on the women.
Right.
My boys, my partners, was guys who assisted me in getting up on the women.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, it was a rule that you can be as good chummy pal as you want to, but you wasn't nothing if you wasn't getting no booty.
That's right. Yeah.
And you was defined based on what you were to your woman. And we did that because we also had music from Frankie Beverly and Mays to Barry White,
Right.
from Nat King Cole,
Right.
that defined a man's love for his woman.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Even in the